Hello guys, welcome back to Footy Judge Mo. Welcome back to the channel. Saka, Jesus revive Arsenal's title race. Arsenal survive a Forest scare. Are Arsenal in this title race now? Are they gonna win the league? We will get into it right now. But before we go into it, make sure you're smashing the like button for me, guys. Come on. I don't know how many people in here, but we got however many people in here. Make sure you're smashing that like button for me. Make sure you're subscribing to Footy Judge Mo. We are going to get into this right now. There you go, man. That's the perfect intro right there. Hey,
Give me a little bit about the game.
there
Oh
you are.
my
There you
God.
are,
Give
you
me a little
fraud.
bit
There
about
you
the
are, you
game.
fraud. I gave you the intro, man. I gave you the intro. I
Yes.
smash the likes, people, man.
Smash the like button, people. Arsenal, I told you it's 2-1, and they survived the scare. Gabriel Jesus with a brilliant goal, to be honest, a brilliant finish, and Matt Turner, an absolute bozo in the goalkeeper. Glad Arsenal got rid of him. Actually, the guy shouldn't be a goalkeeper. But big up everybody that is here. Absolutely brilliant. Listen, title race is on for Arsenal. We're here with Olu, Giuseppe, and Saad, of course, to talk about what happened in the game. Gabriel, I didn't know if Arsenal were good or bad, but we're here with the guys to see what happened, people. To hit that like button. We're going to be joined by Muhammad Salad, number one Arsenal hater or not. You guys don't like him, but listen, how's everybody doing? Oh my God, listen, I text everyone. Everyone is available for this match reaction right after Jesus scores. Olu, I texted Olu, and Olu didn't respond. Arsenal score a goal, and Olo just appears. I was like, yeah, I'm available, bro. I will be in the match reaction.
Listen. And after I text you, we conceded, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, should I be should I be saying I'm ill right now?"
Yeah, but big up everybody. Listen. I'm gonna start with Saad. How's Morocco?
Yes. You know what? You're such a fraud. Bro, you're such a because the thing is, I see all these scumbags in the chat, yeah. I see you guys, yeah. I see you guys, yeah, and you're doing this to me, yeah, right now, bro. Do you want me to break down, bro? Do you want me to break down live on camera, guys? Come on, man. Listen, we were toothless. We didn't finish our chances. South Africa took their chances. Whenever they had chances, they took them, and we just lacked the clinical edge in the end, man. We just way too wasteful with our chances. And to be honest, listen, we were coming into this as one of the favorites. We were supposed to be. I mean, let's face it. Senegal coming out yesterday should have shown us. I was celebrating because I was like, yes, finally we have a route. That's it. We're done. We should be automatically moved up to the top of the list. I think we were second anyway. We should move to the top of the list. We should be going to win this. And then we go and put a performance out like that where we just can't finish chances, missing penalties. The pressure got to them, man. The pressure got to them. That's not the same team that was in the World Cup. This team going back to the same thing that they done last Afcon, where they got out again to Egypt. Is fine because now the next Afcon that comes up, bro, there's no chances. That's on our home turf. You guys fuck that up, bro. There's gonna be choice words. There's choice words now. Forget about next.
I'm just as upset as you in it, but you're forgetting that you lot have been. It's been like this for the last 50 years. Morocco haven't been good in African Cup of Nations for years. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And we see it that they do well in the World Cup. Even when they don't go to the semi-final, they have a fun display at the World Cup. The Afcon is just for some reason Morocco just. I'm upset too, bro. I want to see the best.
Amrabat goes to Man United, and all of a sudden Morocco go tits up. Should we blame Man United?
He's one of our best players, bro.
He was fantastic throughout the tournament, bro.
Wait. Hands up if you're
guys. Just remember, in the chat, there's over 100 people already. Like the video. We'll talk about Arsenal, but I think Afcon here is the headline because Morocco. I was like, this is Morocco's time now. Senegal is out. The superstars are done. They're out. This is Morocco's time. But then they let us down. They let the whole Arab world down. You let us down.
All I'm saying is that, if your team is still in the Afcon, just put your hands up. I said still in. Still in.
Yeah, bro. I'm half Cape Verdean, and I'm
Oh,
half.
okay.
Here you go.
I'm
Shut
half.
up, bro.
I'm half.
What are you
Yo,
talking about?
everyone's
Here we
claiming
go.
Cape Verde.
Everyone now will come in.
Everyone's claiming Cape
I'm
Don't
half
worry,
Verde.
bro.
Indian. I am half
I'm half-
Ivorian. My grandma
Don't worry, man. We're
lived
there.
2 days in Cote d'Ivoire. My grandma visited Nigeria a couple of times.
Actually, you know what? Osimhen's my cousin. What?
It's like, oh my god,
Bro,
everyone now
My
will
mom.
say
Hey, listen. My mom and dad went on holiday to
on
Cape
holiday
Verde
to
once.
Cape Verde.
So I can
Yes.
claim Cape Verde as a nationality right now, and I will claim them, and we are getting it back in blood. Just remember that, innit, bro? Just
Oh my
remember
God.
that.
This is
Getting
kind
it back in blood
the
now,
stream
bro.
went left, to be honest.
Yeah, good. It went left when these guys started trolling me in the chat. Hold that, you frauds.
Guys,
I know.
hit that
I
like
remember
button.
your names.
Well, I think actually
Nah, big
we'll
up to
talk
everyone,
about
man.
Arsenal, and then guys stick with us because it's not every day you got Mo Salah here. So we'll have to talk about Afcon. It's not every day we'll get Mo Salah here.
It's not every day. It's
Superstar
just once a
of
week.
the
I'm here
African
every
football
Tuesday.
is here
You
with
can't
us.
even use that
So
card anymore. I'm
we
here once a week, bro.
definitely have to get Mo Salah's take on Afcon, but stick with us. But let's start with Arsenal. What are you guys saying? Title race is back on, Giuseppe?
Listen, next week we'll tell the story. If we beat Liverpool, then yeah, I think we have a chance. If we don't, even if we draw with Liverpool, I think we probably won't have what it takes to probably get over the line. But yeah, we need to beat Liverpool. Listen, Chelsea might do us a favor, maybe. Cold penalty Palmer might do us a little favor. And then you never know. Listen, we could be talking next week. We could be above them, and we could be top of the league next week. If certain things go our way, obviously City with the games in hand, but yeah, why not, man? Why not? If we need Partey back, that's the key for me. If Partey, I've said that the only way Arsenal have a chance of winning this league is if Partey comes back and stays fit the rest of the season, and we have no more injuries, aka Saliba, Rice, stuff like that. If they don't get injured, we have a chance, but we need Partey back.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
You really think it's about Thomas Partey? You
Yeah,
guys were
man.
not happy today with Smith Rowe. Let's start there.
Listen,
happy.
I thought Smith Rowe was
I'm
decent
happy.
today. Yeah, but Thomas Partey, man, like, but he gets too much disrespect in the, like, for me. Like, he's so good. Like, I say a fully fit Thomas Partey for me gets into any Premier League team. So for me you can't really replace that right now. Smith Rowe is good.
So you don't think
but he
Declan
doesn't-
Rice is doing the job that Thomas Partey can do?
I think they could play together.
I think they're
Personally.
two completely
How
different
is
players.
that
man.
even
I
possible?
think
I
I,
don't-
I
break,
think
He
yeah.
don't break the lines like Thomas Partey. He don't break the lines like Thomas Partey.
There's
Bro,
something.
you have 80% ball position today.
Yes,
So why do you need another DM?
Mo.
Allah
There's
Azim,
something.
you guys
No,
are
no,
fit, you guys
Mo,
are
Mo. Hold on, because the thing is, you have to explain it. Yeah. So
Yeah, explain it.
the thing is with Rice will take the safe pass. Yeah. He still go forward, but he'll take the safer pass. Thomas Partey, he'll pass through two guys. There'll be two guys in front of him. He'll pass through them to get the ball to Odegaard.
Okay.
Rice won't
He's
do that.
better
Yeah.
than Declan
So
Rice.
no. I'm going
No,
forward.
yes.
Going forward, he offers
Mo's
us
just gonna
the line
instigate.
breaking passes. He offers us because Mo's being a fraud right now.
Why
Because-
I'm being
you know
a
what I mean?
fraud, yeah?
Wait,
But
sorry.
Why
this
I'm
is-
being a fraud?
Declan Rice, and Thomas Partey, yeah, they can play together. It's perfect because you'll
So-
have
How is it
the
perfect?
Declan Rice.
Tactically explain it to me.
Okay,
Wait, so before
Mo, I can do that for you because Declan Rice's best attribute is getting up and down the pitch, winning the ball back, his progressive dribbles, that kind of stuff, right? And Thomas Partey sits at the base of the midfield, makes those line breaking passes. They're two completely different players. I don't think they bought Declan Rice to replace Thomas Partey. Does that make sense? Because they're two completely different
I
players.
agree.
They're two completely different players.
Right.
Partey is the more composed one, the one that keeps it ticking, kind of the Rodri role. The balls in between the passes to find guys like Odegaard and Saka between the midfield and the defense. Declan Rice is not that kind of player. Declan Rice essentially will do the dirty work for you. He's one of the best tacklers in the world. He's one of the most what's the word I'm looking for? I guess energetic. He gets up and down the field as good as anyone else in the world. So they were bought to play together. They weren't. Declan Rice wasn't bought to be the lone number 6 because in an Arteta team, a possession-based team, he doesn't have the same characteristics as like a Jorginho, as a Rodri, as a Partey. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
He needs a
so
semi. He needs
can
a semi-defensive. Sorry, go ahead, bro.
For me,
I was just-
yeah. For me, he needs. he was brought in to be the Xhaka replacement. Like that I've said it. Saad, no, I've said it in the stream, and that's why I say Havertz was never brought in to be a starting player in the team. It's only that we haven't had Partey all season that he's been
No, but
playing
Havertz
more
is different.
starting.
Let's not bring
So-
that guy.
No, I'm not. I'm just
Let's
saying.
not get that guy involved because Havertz is a whole different fucking
not-
can of worms
that's what I'm
that
trying
I
to
don't even
say.
want to open right now.
Rice, people for some reason think that Rice couldn't do what Xhaka done last season. Of course, he can do what Xhaka done last season for us. He could do that, 100%.
All he's missing is the goals.
I'll
I
say
agree.
this, right?
I think if you ask any Arsenal fan, the ideal midfield is Partey, Rice, and
Sorry,
Odegaard. Without
Everyone's
shadow of a doubt. Sorry.
Everyone's jumping in front of me. But
my
no,
bad.
I was gonna say
my bad.
it's alright, man. I'm just messing around. I'll
We're
say
just
the one
hating
thing
because your
though is
team's
this,
still in
right?
Afcon.
Keep hating, man.
I 100%. We are hating because of that, bro.
I don't even know
I'm
what country
jealous
they're from.
right now, bro.
But,
Yeah, of course, big Nigeria. Come on, man. Anyways,
I can't even hear on that.
that's besides the point. I was going to say this. So the thing about is this, right? Is I think sometimes what we do is we talk on hypotheticals. We've not really seen Partey and Rice play together for us to judge and say specifically what's going to happen. But in theory, it does make sense. I'll say this, okay? The thing about Partey is that back to play, or when he's facing the other way, he's amazing. His ability to turn on the ball and move the ball very quickly is amazing. Something that is different from Declan Rice, who's mostly is facing the opposition defense. He's like, if he passes the ball and his back is to the other team, I think Rice goes for the safe pass of backwards, while someone like Partey will drop the shoulder and try to find space. So that's where there's differences between both of them. But I don't know if we could just say dropping in Rice and Partey will automatically take us to the next level, because one, they haven't played together. They haven't built that rapport that it took a while for Partey and Xhaka to get to before it starts seeing fruition in that. So I think in theory it makes sense. And if it might, I'll say this idea of one game you lose, you're out of the race, and one game you win, you're back in the race is silly to me, because I think it's a marathon, not a sprint. And I think sometimes we're too short-sighted in the way we talk about if teams are in a tight race or not. But I'll say this. Having Partey and having more players who've got quality in your team just gives you a better opportunity to win the league. Yeah. And again, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So we have to just hope that all these players come together and they gel and they start to hit the ground running.
Mo, can you just get JJ's comment up, please? JJ, he's just there. Can you get JJ's comment up, because I just need to address it, because JJ. I think he's just up there.
Number one, before we do that, Abdi Has is saying,
we don't need to
hold that.
Hey, yo, guys, if you're gonna send money, that's how you do it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Well, if you're gonna spend
You
money,
troll the panelists, that's how you
this
do
is
it.
it. Guys, hit that. Guys, we have almost 200 people here. You aren't even hitting the likes. Can we get the likes up to 100?
Exactly.
Come on, people. Come on.
Exactly. If you guys are gonna dunk on me, in a super chat, please. We don't want to see it in normal messages. Super chats, and it will get to me, and I'll get dunked on every time. Okay. But JJ, I just wanted to speak to you about that, because you said that we bought in Rice and we don't know what he can do. I genuinely don't think Rice was bought in to replace Partey. He wasn't. There's a reason why we're now looking at Zubimendi, another DM. Why are we looking at DMs? Why? Because Partey is going. Partey is going to be gone at the end of the season. He is going to go, and they're looking at other DMs because they want to find somebody who can do what Partey does without the injury record. And as soon as they find that, they want to play Rice in that left 8 position, or they want to play them in the double pivot. That's what Arteta wants to do. That's the picture that he set out for himself. I haven't said that. I haven't said that I want to keep Partey now. Of course, he's going to stay with us until the end of the season. After the end of the season, he's gone. He's leaving at the end of the season because, bro, his injury record is absolutely disgraceful. He can't stay fit. Yes, he stayed fit last season for however long he was. I think he played 33 games or something like that. But his injury record is actually diabolical. So now that we're going in, and now that we're actually bringing in players that can do what he does, and we're bringing in more energy, younger players, that's what's going to happen. Okay. It's not just about that.
Now,
bro.
I let the amateurs talk.
Yeah,
let the professional talk now. Let me explain to you what happened, right? The amateurs said what they wanted. Let me talk now. Okay, this is my channel, right? In the first 2 games of the season, Thomas Partey played right back because Declan Rice isn't the number 8 that go up and down the pitch, and he's not going to score goals. There is a reason why Mr. Arteta, Coach Arteta, played Kai Havertz there. Someone who has more offensive attributes than defensive attributes, and played Thomas Partey and the right back to invert. Declan Rice isn't the guy that will get you 5-6 goals and 5-6 assists a season. Declan Rice's main attribute, right, is to pass around, right, stop the counter attacks, stop the transition from the opposition team, get the ball from the defense to the closest guy to him. Declan Rice isn't trained to actually play passes to progressive carries. He does this with West Ham. When you watch highlights, when you watch West Ham last season and the season before, West Ham was a defensive-minded team. And actually, what's his name? Mikel Antonio said that when they tried to play offensive football, it didn't work. So Declan Rice was molded at West Ham at a defensive-minded team. Pass to the next guy you see. Let the offensive guys do the work. So
you're
Declan
basically
Rice,
just saying what I said with flavor on it.
no,
Basically,
you literally said that Declan Rice
This
can
is
go
what
up and
he
down the
always
pitch.
does.
I'm talking about in terms of
This is
sir,
what Mo does all the time.
Okay.
Mo-
Don't yell
Mo-
at me and let me finish. Let me talk.
No. In terms of
The video is
by up
going
and
to
down
come
the
out
pitch,
now.
I'm not
Can
saying.
I
I'm not,
talk? For fuck's sake.
Can I
Can I fucking talk?
Can I say one thing, please?
All right.
I've never seen that before. That's incredible.
All right. Okay. Declan Rice isn't the number one. Arsenal is a position-based team that like to have the 2 8s very close to the 18. Very close to the 18, close to the wingers. And they need to have more offensive attributes than defensive attributes. That's why Granit Xhaka last year was molded to that role. That's why he had 14 GA. He was sometimes higher than Jesus on the pitch. Declan Rice is not that guy yet. Yet isn't that guy. Does he have the attributes to do it? He might. Right? But Arsenal aren't in a position to teach someone anything. Arsenal are going to win a title or aiming to win titles. So Declan Rice playing at the 6. He's not Thomas Partey, but he's doing an okay job. The one that can play the 8, in my opinion, is actually Thomas Partey, who did it at Atletico Madrid before. Because Thomas Partey, I believe, have more offensive attributes. Line breaking, passing, can carry the ball. I believe Thomas Partey can do the 8. Declan Rice, from the first game of the season, played at a 6 when Thomas Partey was fit and Thomas Partey played right back. That means he was brought in to be molded to be the number 6. It's simple as that.
I have to disagree with you on that.
You can
about
disagree,
Thomas
of course.
Partey.
That doesn't mean you're right.
Listen, let me tell you why. Because I'm still scarred from. I'm still scarred.
Transitions doesn't mean you're right.
I am still
control the team.
I'm still scarred.
I'm not
I'm still
controlling
scarred.
anything.
Wait. I'm still scarred from last year, Southampton, when in the last second of the game, he takes a shot. You can hear the whole stadium saying, "No!" and he boots it so hard and so high. I never want to see Thomas Partey in an attacking sense.
And why do you want to
life.
see Declan Rice in an attacking position?
I didn't
If
say
you
that.
guys,
I think
majority
say
of the
that.
people say that Declan Rice doesn't have a lot of offensive attributes. So why do
I
you
don't
want to
say
see Declan Rice in offensive?
I'll answer this. Okay, so I'm different. I think sometimes we think of things as players individually. Of this player's creative, this player's that. I think the reality is that we play in an era where it's all about system. So you're building an attacking system based on how you played, how the ball's played around through midfield, and getting to a point where then the attacking players or the likes of the wingers or the striker, the ones who are actually the ones who are making things happen. So I think Arteta is very similar to a lot of these modern coaches who come from the Johan Cruyff sort of school of you control as much of the game. So you don't necessarily have to have a player who's this great attacking player like a Ronaldinho. I mean, terrible example, but like a Ronaldinho in central midfield making all these chances. You just have to have a system that works. I think that's where I would say that, if you're talking about him in an attacking standpoint, it won't be him creating. It'll be him being part of a system that helps to create the chances. But again, that's a very Johan Cruyff, Barcelona sort of way of thinking, which obviously Arteta being a young player from that era will be there.
The right back thing as well, Mo. Yeah, the reason he played right back is because we had none of our inverted left backs available Timber was injured. Zinchenko was injured. We had no one that could invert from the left, so we were inverting from the right. That's what he was trying something new start of the season. The Rice thing, he's got 5 GA
Wrong.
this season.
Wrong. Factually,
Wait,
you're
can I
wrong.
just say something really quickly?
First game of the season, Timber started at left back and Rice started at right back. So you're wrong.
Also, actually, Partey played right
Can I
back.
just say one
Last
thing
game
really
last
quickly?
season. Last game last season, Partey actually played
He
right
was
back.
he was trying something, right, Mo?
Yeah,
That's not
last
to say
game
that
last
that was
season.
going to be what we're going to
He
play
was
all
trying,
season.
so he was
wanna-
trying to play Kai Havertz in the 8.
He wanted to
Right,
fit
so
Havertz in the
I want
midfield,
to
bro.
say, I want to
Last
say,
season,
yeah,
though.
I want to say,
Forget last
5
season,
he's-
Yaki.
he's got 5 GA from playing where he's been playing this season. So to say he couldn't get 5 goals and 5 assists, well, he's already got 5 combined already this season, and he's not even playing in that position. So I think that to say he couldn't, I don't know about that. And
So you believe that Declan
There's a
Rice from open
do you
play
believe he'd be worse than-
can score goals?
do you believe that he would be worse than Havertz in the 8 this season?
No, I don't. No, of course not.
So-
There's a thing here. This is one of the reasons why Declan Rice right now is playing so wary. He doesn't like to pass and take these risks. Yeah,
Yes.
Declan Rice is having to do the defensive duties of him and the guy that's normally next to him. Always, he has to do the defensive duties. So me as a DM, if I'm sat there as a DM and I have to do the defensive duties for me and the guy next to me, because the guy next to me is just going up and down, I'm gonna think, bro, I am not losing this ball. I'm going for the safe pass. Forget about taking that risk. Forget about trying to break the lines. I'm going for the pass. I'm passing next to me. If there's a guy ahead of me, Martinelli over there, I'm going to pass to him if he's open. That's what I'm doing, because I know if we lose that ball, I'm fucked. It comes back the other way. I'm having to do two people's work by myself. He has to do that all the time. And yes, he's doing it good. Yes, he's doing it good. No. Yes, Declan Rice is doing it good. He's doing it good right now this season. But I'm saying when you put Partey next to him, and Partey can handle himself defensively, Partey can do his defensive work. Do you know what I mean? Rice doesn't have to cover for him. He doesn't.
I disagree.
Unless he
I
makes a
disagree.
stupid mistake, like West Ham.
Before so I forgot your name on the bottom right.
Mohammed.
It's Mo Salah. That's it. Before he goes, the thing I disagree with you on that though is that Arsenal don't have to defend as much. So this idea of him, like, yeah, there's times where he has to break up play, but I'll say because Arsenal's so ball dominant this season, I think we're only behind Man City. I wouldn't necessarily say that Rice is having to overexert himself defending. I think it's just he's been trained under the West. I agree with Mo. He's been trained under the West Ham way, and old habits die hard, as this thing as they say, right? So before he becomes a little bit more loose in terms of the way he plays and the way he looks at the game, he probably still has a lot of that West Ham sort of drilling into him in terms of get the ball. You're playing next to Mark Noble. You're going to do safe passes. You're not going to go for world-class sort of passes. If he had like maybe a Dimitri Payet all his career, maybe he would have been a little bit more free in terms of trying to find him in weird spaces, but he's playing with Mark Noble. So I'll say, yeah, he's defensive, but I don't think he's like super defensive. And at the same time, I think that, I think it's just old habits are dying hard. And maybe Arteta will, or the coaching team will get him to come out of his shell more and more as he becomes more comfortable in the team. But I know Mo Salah hasn't talked, so no. And I know he's a hater, so I'd love to know what he's hating
I
about
promise
today.
I'm not a hater. Mo
That's what
always
Mo-
introduces me as a hater, and the last 3 or 4 times I've come on his stream is me defending Arsenal and Arteta and what Arteta's trying to do. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, it makes no sense. He always does this and introduces me as an Arsenal hater. But I was just gonna go back to one thing I said earlier. When I said Declan Rice can get up and down the field, at no point did I even imply anything to do with his end product or goals or assists or him even being attacking. I'm literally just, if anything, that's a testament more to his defensive skills because of his energy and his ability to win the ball and his progressive carries, which is, in my opinion, his best characteristic. I'm not saying he's offensive or anything like that. I'm just saying my point was him in the lone 6 role is not what Arsenal want him to do, in my opinion, in the long term. I think they want him to be attacking, and they want him to develop these attributes and skills to be effective in the final third. But at the moment, he's not that. But maybe that's what they want him to do. But he can't develop those if he's playing at the base of a midfield.
It's also for him to win the ball high up the pitch. Back when we lose possession, he wins it back high up the pitch straight away. We're back again. You know, that's an attribute that I think he'll also have that will be positive for the team, the way we play, because we control most
So
of
that's
that
what
today.
I mean when I say up and down the pitch. I'm not talking about him getting the ball like I don't know, Kevin De Bruyne and picking up the ball deep and hitting that ball or whatever. I'm just saying he has the ability to go up and down the field from a physical standpoint.
Yeah,
but it's not even just about that though. All I want to say, it's not even just about that as well, because let's say for instance you have Declan Rice covering the left back position when Zinchenko goes up. That's worth just as much. That's worth just as much as him in the DM position and doing these DM tackles, bro. That's just worth just as much. Him being in that left back position and covering Zinchenko when Zinchenko goes forward, because then you have Thomas Partey and Zinchenko going forward and doing the passing that they do. And he is there saying, if they get the ball back, and then the wingers coming out our right side or our left side, I'm here. Don't worry. I'll do a job. Me and Gabriel will take care of him. You ain't got to worry about that. So
I think he's
I think Partey coming into this midfield with Declan Rice, man. I think it could really change us, man. I think it could change us for the better, man. I think it could be
Let me
good,
do a
man.
couple
I'm
of super
interested
chats because I wanted to move to something else, guys. Over 200 people here, and we aren't even on 100 likes. So hit that like button, people. The like button is underneath your live chat. It's simple. It doesn't cost you a penny, but it helps the channel massively, people. 20 Hardway saying Rice and Partey against the low block would stink. I agree with that. You don't need Rice and Partey against the low block. You don't need that. Today, Arsenal had probably 80% position, something like that. Had 75% ball position. Why do you need 2 DMs?
That's why. So that's why you need. Okay, so that's why you need Partey in this position, because Partey still gives you the going forward. He still gives you the attacking. And bro, not every player has to start. Not every player. No. But let's face it. Not every player has to start every single game.
Okay,
Do you know what I mean? You can give him a rest for certain games. Bro, we're acting like De Bruyne isn't benched some games. We're acting like Haaland isn't benched some games.
Majority of the games for Arsenal, do you dominate position? Majority of the games in the league, do you dominate position? All right. And
so we don't need 2 DMs. I'm in agreement with you. We don't need 2 DMs.
All right. So I'm getting to a conclusion here with you. So again, is the majority of the team.
I think Mo got you out today. I think Mo caught you out. I know exactly what Mo won.
I know what he's gonna do.
Mo won.
I'm not gonna do anything. He's the one who said it.
It's cool. I know exactly what you're gonna say,
bro.
I know what he's gonna do. This is what Mo's gonna.
I can finish your sentences for you right now. I can come to the exact same conclusion you will come to. I know exactly what you're gonna do from here.
All right.
This is what he's gonna do. Let me say everything you're gonna say against me. Yeah. So
you literally just told me
this
that
is what he's
Arsenal
gonna say.
In the majority of the game should play Partey and bench Rice. That's exactly what you just said.
Okay, yeah, but listen, there's times to change the team
what
around.
You just said.
You can change but you could change the teams around a little bit. But what I'm saying is, let's say for instance, if Rice has to get benched, you have a player like Partey.
I have an agenda. It's not me who said that.
So let's say for instance, if Partey comes in, or a player like Partey, and then you play somebody next to him who can do a job in that position. Do you know what I mean? And then you have Partey there who can go forward. Do you know what I mean? You have Partey there, you can go forward against low blocks. Against
confuse the audience.
What do you mean?
You tried to rectify what you said.
No, I did not try to
rectify what you said. And you got confused and you confused the audience.
Hold on. I confused myself.
This is
amazing. He confused himself. He confused all of us.
He tried.
This is what I'm trying to say. No, hold on. Mo. 1 second. This is what I'm saying, This is how it's right, This is how it's right, bro. I'm on the edge right now, bro. The Morocco defeat is still in my head. But listen, this is what I'm saying, So let's say, for instance, you come up against a team that has that's doing a low block, And let's say, for instance, you play Smith Rowe in the left 8, and then you play a Thomas Partey next to him, Then you still have somebody who's doing the defensive work, but at the same time, able to go forward, able to break the lines. That's what I'm trying to say. So not that we need to bench Rice I'm just saying, to have a player like that, Rice doesn't always need to be involved. He can be rested for certain games. Certain games where we know we're going to come up against a low block, where we can add more quality in that midfield. That's what I was trying to say.
Is more
for
than
me-
80% of the team you play.
For me though, like Arteta sees
You
Rice's
literally
talent.
just said
It's
that
not.
anyway. I'm
It's
gonna
not.
move on.
Brighton,
It is.
Brighton don't play.
Sad.
Brighton don't play a low block. Brighton don't play a low
Why
block.
you yell at me?
Who you
Why
can
you
tie
yelling
up
at
with
me?
your agendas, and I agree. Mo brings guys onto his thing just so he can get them confused and he can
No,
win, bro.
I don't.
Mo doesn't-
I actually let the guests say what they want because I believe
No,
in one
you
thing.
let the guests say what they want because you know they're gonna muddle themselves up, and then you know you can find something to weave in between it.
Nah,
We know you, bro. It's okay.
He's still undefeated. I'm still undefeated against him. His agendas don't work on me.
All right. Let me do these super chats because I want to go to Gabriel Jesus today. SER, thank you so much for support. Odi left 8, Smith Rowe right 8. Why do you want Odegaard left 8? Odegaard has been playing right 8 for 3 years now.
There's
Why do
a
you
there's a
want to
weird
change?
there's a
They
weird
want the Saka
obsession
Smith
where
Rowe. They want the Saka
Yeah, there's
Smith
a-
Rowe link up.
no, I think there's a weird obsession where people think that just moving a player to the left will increase his output. It's like no, again, it's all about system as opposed.
No,
I think
I
sometimes
generally
people
think
forget
it's
that.
I need to
Saka
do the rest of the
Smith Rowe
super
thing.
chats, but I don't agree with
That's
this.
what I
The guy is a right 8. You don't need to shift him. He's been playing next to Saka for over 50 games now, or even more. There is
Actually,
no
not
need.
just
solution
Saka,
is
also
Jorginho,
Ben
personally.
White.
I think the
Yes,
solution
exactly
is Jorginho,
that too.
personally.
And I think actually Odegaard, like the majority of his game is open up his body to finding the pass, and like this is what he does best. So why do we want to change it? Why do you want to change it?
Oh,
By the way,
Toon
this super chat's incredible. By the way, the
Okay.
next one, someone
Toon
said something really, really good.
Toon Tactics. Thank you, Philip, for supporting the channel. I appreciate you, Philip, so much. And congratulations for your team today. Sorry, I just didn't watch the Newcastle game to talk about it at all. Judge Mo, the Egyptian Al Pacino, let me talk. Thank you so much for that. Studio Hooks are supporting the channel. As always, people that support the channel, absolutely appreciate it. We want more control and keep the ball more, hence why Rice is in the 6. That's why I agree with you. And you need 2 8s that can do the offensive work. You don't need that many defenders. His
next message is incredible, by the way. This same
Yeah,
person, his
I'm gonna
next
get
message is insane. Like, it makes
20
perfect sense.
20 hard ways saying Rice and Partey versus UEFA Champions League team, Manchester City, Liverpool. Though I agree. That 100%. 100. Actually, you would have way more control than what you have with the Havertz, with the Smith Rowe. Thomas Partey and Declan Rice next to each other against the better oppositions would cook. Would absolutely be brilliant. Both are physical. Both are very good in stopping transition. And I think Rice complement Thomas Partey in terms of the progressive passing. But I believe in low blocks, you need another offensive 8. And Rice isn't it for me. But thank you. Studio Hooks is saying Partey played right back because versus low blocks, you don't need an extra defender. Very good.
That makes a
Absolutely
instead of removing a midfielder, you can
Yes.
play. Sorry, instead of removing a midfielder, you remove a defender. So so now you have even more offense. It makes perfect sense. It actually makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely brilliant. Yes. If Thomas Partey
Saad,
played
he
right
bailed
back,
you
a
out
lot
there,
of
by the
Arsenal
way.
fans cried, by the way. Absolutely brilliant. You
I
don't
saw he
need
bailed you
another.
out there, by the way.
Huh?
So because obviously under Saad's team, Rice is being taken out, but now someone like Ben White's being taken out.
Someone like
Studio
Ben
Hooks
White,
saved you.
or even someone like Ben White can be taken. But the problem is Zinchenko inverts, Partey inverts, and you're only gonna end up with 2 defenders. Well, that would work against low
But then you're
I
playing
don't think
Declan
you
Rice,
needed
though.
Ben White today, to be honest.
But
You literally
Mo,
didn't.
Mo, because they're both inverting, that's where someone like Declan Rice makes a lot of sense to be in that
Yes,
team because
to
he can
cover
cover
everybody.
So I'll say the only problem with this is that with that, which sounds good on paper, is
Damn.
Saka plays best when he has an overlap that creates space, right? What's going on?
Abilo with Dilo. For
I don't
the
speak
people that
Arabic.
speak
Bro, I
Arabic, they know
can't
what I
wait
mean.
for this guy, bro.
I'll be
I
with
can't wait
Dilo.
for Jordan,
Woo!
bro. When Jordan come up against Japan or South Korea, bro, they're getting
Yo,
smoked.
Saad, you can't
They're
even
getting
hate on
smoked,
Jordan, bro.
bro.
I
Wallahi, they're getting smoked,
listen.
bro.
I'm not gonna lie. I was so happy for them. I texted Hussam, bro. I swear to you, you can't even hate
Nah,
on
he's
them.
a
It's one of
fraud,
those
bro.
countries you can't even hate
Look
on,
at
bro.
him.
I swear to you.
Look at him, bro.
Demon
No, but
South
he came in
Africa
here like this,
crazy.
yeah? He came in here like this. He came here like this. Say less,
Demon
say
South
less.
Africa's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I have no clue what you're
What's
talking
that?
about right
Guy,
now.
wallah, what's that?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Because Saad celebrated Egypt loss the other
I
night.
did not. There was
Saad
no. I did not,
celebrated as
bro.
an Arab.
This
He celebrated the Egypt loss. It's recorded. Jacob recorded you, and he's about to release it. You're about to get exposed everywhere
That's
on the
crazy.
internet.
there you are.
I will never, and the only time I will celebrate an Arab team if they're playing against Egypt, and I will never celebrate an African team losing in the World Cup, for example, because I'm an Arab and then African, right? You celebrated Egypt loss. You're recorded and it's about to be released.
I got to say, as a Nigerian, I celebrate anytime Ghana loses, so I kind of understand it.
Of course, yeah, no, you know what it is? I listen. There's nothing like African social media when either Ghana or Nigeria lose. It is magnificent, and it's preferable when Ghana lose because there's more Nigerians. Does that make sense? So it's just much more content.
We have no shame. We will rip Ghana apart.
You know how he's talking. You know, you don't want to talk about Liverpool right now, and don't want to talk about Klopp right now. So he's going on to Afcon.
We'll talk about Afcon in a bit. But to be honest, let's continue with this Thomas Partey thing. To be honest, my God.
So I was saying I was saying about the Thomas Partey thing and like, I was saying about Thomas Partey.
Saad, everybody's coming for your head, bro. Saad,
bro, I'm done with the
Saad,
AFCON conversation,
Saad,
bro. I'm done with it, bro.
every
You know what I mean? Bro, I'm done with the AFCON conversation, bro. Are we just stick to football, bro? Are we here to talk about Arsenal? Or are we talking about AFCON, bro?
We don't even talk about the
Are we
game.
talking about AFCON or are we talking about Arsenal, bro? Come on, man.
Where
My
we
head
said
is
about the
hot,
game.
bro. I need to go get a cup of tea, bro. I'll be right back.
He said. Do you know what Saad just said? Saad said, "Forget this football," and he goes, "Forget Afcon. Let's stick to football." That is crazy. That is crazy.
He can get
Head
clipped
loss.
so many
Head
times.
loss.
He can get
Yo, his head's on Mars. Oh my!
But-
He said,
Oh.
"Forget Afcon. Let's stick to football." That is crazy.
He's gone.
Actually,
Sad.
Mo, that's not
Sad.
what I said.
No.
I said let's stick to Arsenal. Who said football?
Wallahi, you
No,
didn't.
no.
Wallahi, you
No,
didn't.
no, go back.
Wallahi, you
Go
didn't.
back
You
and
said
say
let's
it.
stick to
Go back
football.
and say it.
Sad.
Go back and say
Wallahi,
it.
you didn't. You said let's stick to
Sad.
football.
Listen. All you need
Nice.
to do right now is just take a few deep breaths with me. It's okay.
Yeah,
Relax.
there is no deep breaths right now. I need a bag, bro.
yeah, he needs.
I
he
need
needs
a brown paper bag, and you know what I mean.
bro. You're on the loud pack, bro.
You know what the problem is not that Morocco lost, is that Saad celebrated Egypt loss. I think that's the problem. The problem when you celebrate Egypt loss, that's the thing. But anyway, back to the Arsenal party. And I wanted to move on from the Thomas Partey thing to Gabriel Jesus, to be honest. When I was watching Gabriel Jesus today, he tried everything on the pitch. To be honest, I'll give him credit. Again, his finishing isn't the best. The goal he scored is great, but he had a couple of opportunities earlier to actually score that first goal that will open up the game. And he missed him. Like that one that he put to the post, should have scored that. There is one that he dribbled, magnificent dribble against two guys inside the 18. You should have scored that. You should have scored the goal there. You should have opened up the game, but he didn't. However, I actually think that what he offers to the team is so much. The way he links up the play, the way he passes the ball, the way he goes to the lines, the way he does so many things, linking up the play with the midfield is very, very good. And this is what people don't realize. People think that getting a number 9 will solve their problems. I actually think that without Gabriel Jesus, your team might not be playing the same way. Even though sometimes I disagree with the way that you pass the ball inside. I think Arsenal are doing it too much. Like, I think you're trying to walk the ball towards the net instead of shooting from outside. Like Liverpool, if you look at Liverpool, and I was talking to Hussam after the game, and we were talking about the way Liverpool approach a chance. When the chance comes for Liverpool, they just take it. You know what? Jota shoots from outside the 18. It's Sabozlai. No, they try. I feel like Arsenal don't try enough. But for the way you play and the way Arteta wants to set up the team, Gabriel Jesus is so important. That's how I'm viewing this Arsenal team.
I'll say though on
It's important.
the long shots. Oh, sorry, before you go on the long shots things though, one big complaint people had with Odegaard at the start of the season was that he was shooting from outside the box too much. So it's kind of weird
And I
now
wish
that
he
we say
didn't
that
shoot today.
Arsenal.
I wish he didn't shoot.
Exactly. So we can't have it both ways. You can't have players who shoot from outside the box and then people complain and then say, actually, we don't shoot enough from outside the box. You know what I mean?
Mo, we've discussed Gabriel Jesus a lot on this show. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like
Yes.
on this, like from
Yeah,
the
but
start
still
of the
people
season.
want to replace him with someone else.
No, of course. But you have to admit it's a bit of a catch-22. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because there's games like today where he will do everything. He'll dribble, he'll pass, he'll shoot, he'll score. Like he'll do so much. But then there's some games where you're not going to get that many opportunities with the ball at your feet and you just want him to be clinical. So it's a bit of a catch-22 because I agree. On one hand, they can like he is one of the keys to the way that they play, 100%. But at the same time, sometimes they need more from him, which maybe he doesn't have in him. So it's like, what do? You know what I'm trying to say? So I completely understand the discourse on Gabriel Jesus. Me personally, I'm glad I'm not in that position, but like I get it, you know.
But also
for me, when you look at the game today, yeah, there was times where I'm watching the game and I'm like, bruv, we ain't got no striker. We've got no one there. He's just like he's deep in or he's on the right and we've got no one in the middle. Bro. You need that. I'm sorry, you need that. Definitely when you're playing against all these low blocks.
Be, bro?
My solution is simple. You bring in a player not to replace Jay. There's all this thing about replacing, like teams ain't got depth. Look at City's team. Look at the depth their team has. You can have Jesus start some games. Ivan Toney start some other games. You start sometimes. You can play Jesus on the left, drop Martinelli, or you can play him on the right, drop Saka. You can rotate so much. There ain't no bring Ivan Toney in, yeah, and then you got to sell Jesus, and he's just gone from the team.
Nah, he's an incredible player to have because there's so many different things you can do with him.
100%, and this is what I'm trying to say.
He can even play alongside an Ivan Toney. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like Jesus, I think he's very misunderstood because his position is striker, but he doesn't do the things that a striker can do. Or I mean, he doesn't do the things that your traditional number 9 would do. But at the same time, he offers so much. So I get the discourse. I don't know what side of it I would be on, but
I'll say this though. I mean, one thing we have to also look at is Arteta's sort of history with strikers. And think about it. He had Aubameyang, he had Lacazette, right? He always chose not to play Lacazette through the middle. He always wanted to put him on the left and play Lacazette up front. Of course, Lacazette doesn't have the pace of Aubameyang, but Lacazette used to drop deep and try to create chances. The thing was that he was just not that good. And then, lo and behold, Arteta goes and buys someone who does something very similar in terms of dropping deep, who's a little bit better, a little bit faster, and a little bit better at dribbling, right? So I think we need to accept certain things about certain managers in terms of what their philosophy is. The idea of maybe bringing an up-top striker might be something that Arteta just doesn't believe in, right? And again, at City, when he was a City assistant coach, they mostly played with false nines. I mean, they had Aguero as well, but a lot of the systems were false nine.
But by the way, Aguero also was very good on the ball as well. People think that Aguero was just a number 9. Aguero used to get involved in the small passes, the 1-2.
Of course.
People think he's like Aguero was like a Alan Shearer or something. I'm like, no, Aguero wasn't that guy.
But what I'm saying though is that I'm sure that there's an influence he had as an assistant coach on Pep in terms of philosophy as well, because that's what assistant coaches are meant to do. They're meant to influence and give ideas to the managers, not just the manager alone who makes up the ideas. It comes from the team itself, and it makes sense why he leaves the club and you see a change in Arteta. Maybe that's Pep's idea in terms of evolving the system, and maybe as well as the people he has to listen to have changed. So, and it's no surprise that he comes to Arsenal and we had a pure number 9, really, in Aubameyang, and he chose not to play him as a pure number 9. He chose to play him as a winger and chose Lacazette to play as the player who sort of puts play together, and he's done the same thing with Jesus. I think as Arsenal fans, we're just going to have to deal with the fact that Arteta might never buy a pure striker.
He's buying
my problem is with this is that you need to have an option off the bench that is decent enough when you need. The problem is Nketiah isn't that guy. It doesn't have to be Ivan Toney. It doesn't have to be £100 million striker. It can be a striker that is off the bench. You get Smith Rowe out. If the game is still stuck, you put someone else and you put Jesus a little bit in the midfield and you play that number 9 close to Jesus. Maybe you need that. It doesn't have to be Ivan Toney. People think that yeah, if we're gonna get another option, it needs to be Ivan Toney. It can be someone else. There are a lot of strikers out there that can play in the cup games, that can play in the games when they are stuck. It doesn't have to be someone that will come in and now you'll have to shuffle the whole everything about your game. That's
But
what I
said
think.
today. I said
Was-
today in the chat with Sads and that, I was saying to them, even the striker that come on for Nottingham Forest, yeah, if we had him to come on for us, and people will laugh like he ain't all that. If we
Saad,
had
don't look at the screen. Close your eyes.
Let Giuseppe talk. I'm sorry.
no, if we had him to come off the bench, even like we'll get goals. We need someone though, but
Who
I
is
think we need
someone?
Ivan Toney. No, I'm just saying we need a striker, an option, 100%. I was saying that Nottingham Forest, the guy that come on, I can't remember his name.
Awoniyi.
He always scores.
Onayemi.
Always scores against us.
Awoniyi,
Unit,
Nigerian
yeah.
guy.
To have him to come off the bench, yeah.
Imagine
even
that.
would be good.
You know, imagine even if you have someone like Chris Wood, if you have all the position in the
relax.
world,
Relax.
Okay, you're doing
relax.
craziness now. You're just saying
Relax,
no.
man. Come
someone
on,
like
Chris
I
Wood.
said, someone like
He
Chris Wood.
said of all the strikers in world football, he said, you know what, Chris Wood.
Because watching him
Do you know
today,
how
I said someone like
crazy
him.
you sound?
Why not?
Do you know how ridiculous you sound?
Might as well just
Maybe
get Weghorst as well.
Yeah, maybe Chris Wood is too much. Maybe Chris Wood is not.
Should we also get I don't
Yeah.
know, a Bolahor? Should we also go get I don't know?
No, but to be
Who else?
honest, I mean, someone like that, someone that is not gonna require to play 90 minutes every game, but will come off
I
the
don't- yeah.
bench. Like
That's-
it doesn't have
that's
to
what-
be like.
that's what-
I was just
that's what
thinking
Ken-
that maybe like in January, if Arsenal wanted an option, there are a lot of strikers that are on the bench that are better. My problem with Nketiah is that he isn't your typical number 9 that will come off the bench to win a header. Like look at Onayemi today. To be honest, when
Bro,
the
you
ball
got
was
Martin,
played,
Chris Wood. Nah, I'm out of here. I can't believe that's the name you dropped of everyone.
because he played today, that's the
Wallah, I
name that
can't
came
believe
to my head. That's the name that came to my
I
head.
can't believe. Why are you even thinking about Chris Wood?
Because he played today.
But Chris Wood though, man, like Chris
It's
Wood.
nuts,
Because he
bro.
played
I know
Chris
Sads
Wood
wants
is
to say
crazy.
pause right now.
Oh, that's crazy. I mean, Mo,
That's
Listen.
nuts, Mo.
I can't
I
do
told
that when
you-
I'm on shows with Mo. I can't do the
I
pause
told
thing.
you, I am bringing you up
I'm
on
Mo
getting
tells me
choked
charges.
because I said Chris Wood. He's the one who
I am
played
bringing-
today. He's the one example I have in front of me.
But why him?
Because he played today. That's from the
So-
name
so
that
any
came to my head.
So he's the only player you can think of.
Today,
because he
there's only
played.
2 strikers that played for the other team, Onayemi,
So if-
whatever.
Yo,
So
Mo, if
if I
Andy
played-
Carroll,
if I played
Andy
today-
Carroll played for Nottingham Forest today, would you have said maybe someone like Andy Carroll? Would you have said that? I
If-
don't get. That's literally
if I
the
played
equivalent
today-
of what you said. It's
Oh yes,
literally the
exactly.
equivalent
Someone
of what
like
you said.
so basically, Chris would play today. Someone similar profile, a big striker that will just camp in the 18. You will
That's
play crosses
crazy.
and he will win headers.
You do realize you
not?
could just apologize and move on, but you're still sticking to
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying?
Just say sorry.
Like,
Just say
it's
sorry.
okay.
Have you
There's
met
nothing wrong
me?
with apologizing.
Have you met me?
Just say sorry.
I'm
Just be
sorry.
like, you know what, my
Apology.
bad. It was a mistake. It slipped.
My
Yeah, you
bad.
moved
It's a
on long
slip.
time ago.
It's a slip. You
Yes.
might not get Chris Wood. Maybe you get Weghorst.
I'll take Weghorst. You know, according to Saad, he was a Berbatov light.
Chris Wood dunked on Newcastle. Did you though? Did you? But did you though? Did you
Me?
guys dunk on
I don't-
Newcastle?
I don't play football, so
Did you
you
though?
know, I
As an
couldn't do it.
Arsenal team, Weghorst dunked on Newcastle. Did you guys win against
I
Newcastle?
mean, okay.
Anyway,
That's
moving
all
on.
good.
Moving on. What I mean is that moving on. Gabriel Jesus. Moving on. It's not Chris Wood. Chris Wood isn't Arsenal level, obviously, right? Okay, obviously. My point is, it doesn't have to be Ivan Toney or not. It can be. Mo Salah actually is way more educated than myself to tell you that there are strikers that will not demand a starting position every game. There are a lot of strikers out there that will come off the bench and will give you the impact you want when in a team. Like today, sometimes I thought today, if the goal didn't come, you might need a striker like that. And it's not Kai Havertz, by the way. There's a lot of people that kept saying it's Kai Havertz. It's not Kai Havertz. It needs to be a big number 9 that will win the headers, that will battle the defense. Because I thought this guy Murillo today won a lot of duels in the 18. And you'll need someone to battle that. I can't pronounce Awayemi. I can't.
Awoniyi.
You are Nigerian and you can't
Come
even
on, bro,
pronounce
get
it,
to
bro.
Awoniyi. And
You are a Nigerian and you can't even pronounce it.
Awoniyi. I've got a Nigerian accent still. I was born there. I know how to say his name. Awoniyi.
Awani.
There you go.
Come
Well,
on, bro.
Martin
We outside,
has
man.
one. We
We've
can
been
get
doing this
you
stuff
guys can get Woodhurst.
You got to think, you got to
You
think
can get-
about Jesus' injury
No,
record
people
as well.
think
That's
that-
why I think we need someone a bit more high profile.
But is
How about-
Jesus even the striker? Is he even a striker? Or
Here you
can
go.
we,
Watch
first
this.
time
Watch
today,
this. Watch
Has
this.
his
We've
first
been
comment
talking
is-
for the last 15 minutes and watch Saad now. Go ahead.
This
Is
is the
Jesus
first time
even a
Saad
striker?
spoke since Hussam commented.
is Jesus?
he was-
No, because he's just a fraud.
Sam's
just a
dunked on
fraud.
his head.
Oh, no,
He
no,
was
but
busy
I
for
was
15
trying-
minutes, bro.
I
He
was
was
no, I
busy for
was letting
15
people
minutes.
speak. I was
He
letting people speak.
reevaluated the life as a whole, and then he said, "You know what?
I was letting people speak.
Is
Man,
I was
Gabriel
letting
even
people
a
Hussam not in the
forward?
comments anymore."
But
He-
I think Jesus is more of a forward than he is a striker. If you look at him today, where was he? He was playing all over the place, all over the
Rewind the
place.
tape.
In that right
It's
wing.
minute,
Was
it's
that
minute
left
40 now. It's not minute 51 of
What?
the show.
His head's in space. He's gone back 15 minutes.
Seriously,
basically.
Dad, we
He's
literally spoke about
He's
this.
gone back in time. He's gone back in time.
I'm
and just
speaking
said
about Jesus.
everything we
We
said.
literally
I didn't get
did,
I didn't
bro.
get to say my bit on Jesus, bro. So I had to say my bit, bro. You
This
know what I
is
mean?
so
He's
funny,
headed-
bro.
His
said
head is
to
in
him, Morocco.
space.
Bro, we
Sorry,
spoke
Saad.
about Jesus.
Saad,
I'm sorry,
sorry,
Saad. Saad, go ahead. Sam broken, bro. Literally.
Yeah, okay. What do you always say? I just said my bit on Jesus.
No,
Right.
I
what-
thought you were
What
going to
about
say
Jesus?
more.
This is crazy. But this,
No,
guys,
I just said I don't think he's a striker. I don't think that's gonna be his position. I think once we get other strikers in, he's gonna move him onto the wing. You know, he could be the Saka not replacement, but Saka backup. You know what I mean? He could be backup Saka, bro.
This is crazy, bro.
Giuseppe, he
I'm
stole
hella
your
confused,
flow,
what?
word for word, bar for bar.
Bro, it's just the fact that you can't even get a sentence off. Like, you can't even get your sentence off straight.
What? I don't know what I'm saying. What am I saying?
Oh
You've said the same thing. You've said the same thing Mo said. You said the same thing Giuseppe said, but you're on a 15-minute delay. So basically, you're playing catch up.
Yeah, listen, man. Right now, bro. Listen. I'm on cloud nine, bro. It's crazy. But listen, yeah, yeah.
Oh, I'm laughing too much.
This
Face,
stream is crazy, bro.
face.
He's in, yeah. But,
Wallahi, guys, if you already hinted the
oh
like,
my
you guys
God.
have to be entertained.
Oh
This
my
is entertainment at its best. Hit the like button, people. Get us to 200 likes. Come on. There is about
Oh.
270 of you here,
This
people.
is different gravy.
Oh, I'm laughing too much. Sorry, Sad man.
Bro.
Oh,
No, no.
Oh.
Anyway, Saad.
Man.
Okay, Saad, I'm going to ask you another question. Bukayo Saka today. How did you view Bukayo Saka today?
I think he had a decent game. He had a good game. You know, he got on his right foot a bit more.
Sorry.
All right, guys, come on, man,
I'm
come
gonna
on.
go on mute.
What
I'm
the fuck
gonna
are we
go on
doing
mute.
here, bro?
Well, I'm
Come on,
gonna
man.
mute.
Let's be serious, bro. Come on, man. What's going on, bro?
I'm done.
Yeah, I think he had a decent game, to be honest. You know, he was getting on his right foot finally, bro. This guy was actually he looked more comfortable. He looked more comfortable actually trying to get onto the ball, trying to take on his man. I still think it's not to the level that he was before, but listen, like I said, man, I think Thomas Partey coming back is gonna. I think that's gonna enable him to improve massively, in my opinion.
What does Thomas
as soon as
Partey have to do with him?
Because that whole right side right now,
Correct?
unless you have a line breaker, unless you have somebody who can put that line breaking pass in, bro, you won't get the full best out of Saka. Just look at the Champions League and look at how if you remember that pass that Jorginho done for Saka. Do you remember that pass where he just put it through everybody and it went in behind? I think it was PSV or Sevilla. I don't know which team. It was Sevilla, yeah.
Yeah.
He needs somebody there who can break the lines. He needs somebody there who can break the lines for him because sometimes he makes the runs, but he's just not found. Bro, so I think Partey coming back, I think Partey can enable this guy so much, man. Honestly, I think we could see that. That's when I'm gonna be like, okay, let me see what Saka does now when Partey is actually back in that position. Do you know what I mean?
I slightly disagree. Sorry, I'm trying to
Yeah,
disagree
go ahead.
with you a lot there.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
I think the solution is already there. I think you see the best of Saka when you see more of Ben White overlapping because it creates more space for him to sort of operate, right? So it's more about can Ben White get to a form that he was getting towards the end of the best part of what he had last season, where he was overlapping, creating those sort of triangles with him, Odegaard, and Saka, and also creating situations where Saka isn't trying to go past two or three players by himself. You see, the best of Saka is when he's running onto the ball into space, as opposed to when he's having to stop and then check and try to go around players. So, I mean, to your point, yeah, line breaking passes does help that a lot. And if Partey comes in is able to do those, that helps. But I think also as well, there has to be an emphasis on Ben White finding the form going forward, not necessarily having to create, crossing chances or things like that. Because Ben White isn't the best, like, attacking right back, but just being a decoy and sort of giving the defensives they're playing against more things to think about, I think brings the best out of Saka. And I think you saw that once the space opened up today, Saka played well. Once the space sort of closed off, like in the first half, he wasn't as effective. But that's just, again, my sort of way of looking at it, as opposed to just dropping in the player changes everything automatically.
I think that the problem is Martin Odegaard. Because Martin Odegaard, because he has to do a lot of defensive work and come close to Declan Rice and get the ball and try to do similar job to what Partey used to do, I actually think that takes away from Saka. But in the same time, Ben White isn't being asked to overlap. But when he was overlapping today, we saw the best out of that right side. How many times Ben White got to the line? How many times Saka was offered space to cut inside against one defender instead of two? Right? Now when Ben White overlaps enough, I think it helps Bukayo Saka and it helps that right side. And he needs to do that often. The beginning of the season, he wasn't doing it. I think Mikel Arteta was worried more about the defensive side of the game more than the offensive side of the game. So Ben White was asked to stay a little bit more deeper in the game, on the pitch. So I believe that Ben White needs to help Bukayo Saka, because he isn't. The difference between Ben White and Zinchenko is that Zinchenko, when he goes up, he takes one extra defender with him, or the midfielder that is supposed to double on Martinelli gets on Zinchenko. So tactically, he gives Martinelli the chance to dribble one-on-one. Saka doesn't have that chance. Saka always had two people on him, always. And they know now, one close the line, one close the inside. So Odegaard isn't helping him, and Ben White isn't overlapping, so he has to pass it back. Pass it back to Saliba, or pass it across the pitch to Declan Rice to go to the other side. I think that's a main problem. Is it a problem? It is a problem. Because he was one of your most creative outlets last season, Bukayo Saka, on that side. So he isn't being that guy now. The numbers are there. And today I saw Bukayo Saka when he was offered space, as you said, Olu, he looked all right. He looked scary again. He looked good. Both sides, left foot, right foot, because you don't know. Like I saw a couple of times, he's dribbled the guy on his right foot instead of going to the left foot. And I'm like, this is the Bukayo Saka that you need.
Order comes with space.
When you say about you said like it ain't Partey we need and Odegaard. Did you say it's Odegaard's the reason that Saka's not?
I actually believe it's Odegaard. The problem is
I think it's a domino. I think it's a domino effect. I think you put Partey back in that team, and then Odegaard starts doing what he was doing last season, and then Saka starts doing what he was doing last season. I think
Declan Rice being the 6 is the problem.
But Odegaard was dropping deep a lot last season, though.
But I think
not as much as now. I checked, not as much as now.
But he was still dropping deep. He was still the one
looking at Mendy and stuff. Because I think that's why I'm telling you. I think that Arteta brought Rice in to be what Xhaka was last season. Maybe not straight away. Maybe you'd need to grow into that position. But I generally believe that is what he done. I've said it since the start, and that's why we're looking at Zubimendi and players like this, because we want to bring that guy in to play where Partey is. That's the only thing that kind of makes sense to me right now of what he wants to do.
Maybe, I don't know. Let me do these couple of super chats because we haven't. Kai1X super sticker. Thank you so much for the support. And this comment here from the subs, Rubberhand is saying, Partey and Xhaka got the ball to the attack faster, hence why we scored more goals. I agree. One of the things that I saw today, and something I noticed, and I was writing notes while I was watching the game, Martinelli had a chance to go on a counter-attack 3-on-3, and he stopped the ball, went backwards. instead of going in the counter attack. Smith Rowe, though, when he took the ball, tried to dribble forward with it.
Mm.
And I actually think that it's instructions. Slow down the
I
game.
was gonna
Have
I was
more
gonna say that.
control of the ball. And I'm like, this is not Arsenal. On the counter attack 3-on-3, you should be able to go forward. You should be able to beat the defenders of Nottingham Forest 3-on-3, 4-on-4. Because you won't get that many chances 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 with half the pitch to run into. He stopped the ball, went backwards. Why?
I think part of it is some of the things that we lost last season in terms of being. It's no surprise that teams don't counter attack us as much as they used to anymore. And I think that is part of the fact that Arteta wants to control the game more and more.
He's obsessed with Pep Guardiola 2009.
Exactly. No, but I think he's obsessed with Pep last year because Pep changed
last year. Didn't have that much. Pep last year was absolutely very direct.
Yeah, but I'm saying it was more
brand of football.
But it was controlled. It was like before when they had wingers. Before when they had wingers, they would bomb down the wing, right? Mahrez and Sterling would just bomb down the wing, and it became more narrow last year with the likes of what's his name?
Grealish.
English player. Grealish, exactly. Controllable. What does Grealish do well? What does Grealish do? He gets the ball, runs, passes the ball backwards, right? And I think a part of what Arteta's probably learned from seeing last year is that if my team just attacks, we're liable to go the other way. If we control the game and we think that we're better than the other team, we will create a chance. Now, the problem is that if you don't create a chance and the team scores, you're screwed, right? But I think that he's probably banking on...
Isn't that what is happening this year?
Yeah, but I think he's banking on being better than the opposition as opposed to necessarily just saying we need to play 100 miles an hour football and eventually we get caught out.
Can I do this? Who is... let me add a couple of questions to Mo Salah here. But first, let me do this. Hendo for Salah is what Arsenal would do for Saka. Hendo for Salah is what is what Emil Smith Rowe. Henderson for Salah is what Emil Smith Rowe would do for Saka. No, I think it's Odegaard as well. Like you don't have to work as hard for Saka. You just have to offer him space. I don't think Emil Smith Rowe would do that. I think Odegaard is the one that should do this. And Ben White overlapping, to be honest. But thank you, SC. But I disagree with you. Lee Gunner is the new voice of reason. Well, really? Maybe. For a lot of people think that. It's up to you. But thank you so much for the support. Appreciate it. Saad has to go. I know you have to go, Saad. Any last words about Morocco? We're going to talk about Afcon and your team being out.
Listen, man. We'll get him next competition, man. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Saying it for the last 50 years, but
we're ready for that. Mo, can you let me have one?
You know what the worst part about it is? You know what the
Can
worst
you
part
let
about
me
it is?
have 1 minute to just think about the next
I'm
competition?
just as disappointed, bro.
You know what? The last 50 years you've been saying that, bro. Since 1976,
it's not that because the entire pre-tournament articles and videos and everything that I wrote, I was talking about how good Morocco are, and you know what I'm trying to say. And they've just been devastated. You know, people are at me like I'm Moroccan. People are at me.
I've seen it.
I've seen them on me like I'm Moroccan because I was riding so hard for Morocco. People are crashing on me more than they're crashing on Moroccans, bro. I don't get it.
The question is Saad. What do you think of Jesus?
I'm dead. There you are.
Saad, thank you. Appreciate you, Saad. Guys, Football Corner. Bless Saad. Bless. Thank you.
Thank you, guys, man. See you later. Take care, guys.
Sorry if you hurt your
love.
I apologize, man.
You got this, man. Go nap.
Listen, people. We're still going. And I wanted to ask Mohamed Salah one thing about this game. I know you didn't watch the game, but Arsenal won 2. You didn't watch the game. You're watching Morocco. 2 games in a row. 2 points behind Liverpool. Liverpool play Chelsea tomorrow. And they play Liverpool in this weekend. Do you believe if Arsenal beat Liverpool, they have a chance on the title this season?
I think when you get to this stage of the year, it's nearly February. It is basically February, and you're within 2 or 3 points of the top. I think you're in the title race regardless of how you paint it, and you just need a few results to go your way for you to take the lead and be champions. You know what I'm trying to say? I feel like Arsenal are in a good position. I'm very surprised they didn't strengthen at all in this transfer window, by the way. I can't believe that because they're actually not that far away from being the Premier League champions this year. So that surprises me. But I think if Arsenal, with or without a result, I think it's someone. I think it was you, brother on the bottom. What's your name, sir? Olu. Yeah. I think it was Olu said. I don't agree with this notion that one game tips the balance of the Premier League. I think, of course, if you get slapped by Liverpool, it's the confidence issue and things like that. But I think
it's done. It's over.
Yeah. Because of the confidence, obviously head-to-heads are important as well. But I just feel like if it's a 1-0 Liverpool win or a 2-1 and it's a competitive game, I don't think that decides the title for you. Obviously, it's to beat a rival is very important. Do you know what I'm trying to say? If Arsenal can beat Liverpool and go level on points with them or go above them, it will be huge. But at the same time, it's still relatively early in the season for these games to be deciders, in my opinion.
Yeah, and if, for example, Liverpool were to lose, we wouldn't turn around and say Liverpool not in the title race, right?
Exactly.
But so this is where, like, perspective. I mean, of course, if Arsenal, let's say Arsenal were going to be 15 points behind, you'd go, mathematically, it's impossible for Arsenal
see right now,
win
Arsenal,
5 games and
like
Liverpool
Arsenal,
to lose 5 games.
Like right now, if Arsenal are 6 points behind, if at this stage Arsenal are 6 points behind Liverpool, and if they win, they're 3 points behind, and if they lose, they're 9 points behind, then fair enough, it's a little bit detrimental. But when you're talking about 2 points here and there, I don't think it's that.
That is what it is. If they beat Chelsea tomorrow, then we're 5 points behind them, and then if we lose to them, then we're 8 points behind them.
Okay. I'm actually going to say something completely different. I actually think if Liverpool win tomorrow, and Arsenal don't win against Liverpool, I think it's too much for you to catch both City and Liverpool.
Yeah,
because
that's
by
what
that
I'm saying.
time, the problem is that time you're not catching only one team. Because you at that time, if you draw Liverpool and City win their games, City and Liverpool each one of them is 5 points ahead. So that the possibility of you catching both of them in a 2-game drift is too much.
Yeah,
especially because you play City as well.
Yeah,
and they play City in Anfield.
So
I actually think that's
say.
Arsenal against Liverpool for you is a must-win. Otherwise, I think. Yes, mathematically, and I get what Mo Salah is saying. Mathematically, they might be in the title. But I believe possibility-wise, because there will be only 15 games left at that time, I think it's too much to ask for you to win. Because that would be 23 games.
You're right, and I'm wrong. And I'll tell you why I'm wrong. Because when I was making that argument, I was making it with the blinders that it's Liverpool. I wasn't even counting Man City in this conversation. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So you're 100% right. If it was only those two in the title race,
yeah, you might. Liverpool might drop points in 2 games.
Yeah, of course. But you're right. Expecting 2 teams to drop 2 games for the remainder of the season while you have to win all of your games is unlikely. I agree with you there.
Yeah,
I think as well. If we don't beat them, like for me, Liverpool this season, they do not lose a game at Anfield now this season because of that news that come out with Klopp and that they ain't gonna lose a game at Anfield this season. They'll probably even beat City at Anfield. So for me, we need to beat them. If we don't beat them and we go to catch them and City once again, as we said, it's not impossible, but it's not probable. Like it probably won't happen. Right? Improbable. Yeah, we maybe if we beat City and then they draw against each other, but then you can't think you're going to win the league when you're begging for people to get these results, and then in tow we can't lose no games. That's another thing.
Yeah.
If we lose to Liverpool, we can now not lose another game this season. We can't even really draw
Liverpool,
another
it's
game.
over.
That's what I'm saying.
8 points ahead of one team and 6 points ahead of the other team.
And that's what I'm saying.
With marginal goal differential, I think it's over at that time. Arsenal at that time aren't in the title.
I agree.
They aren't.
I agree.
I mean, you guys just made that game is huge. Especially for Arsenal. I mean, I actually didn't take because I didn't.
Unless Liverpool lose tomorrow. If Liverpool lose tomorrow, yes, there's different talk.
Okay,
but it's funny. We can see how one game can swing things around so easily, right? But that's what I'm saying. That's why I said sometimes it's hard for us just to go straight away. If this happens, then this happens for them.
But I believe this Liverpool game for you is a make or break.
I know. So my mentality is always this, right? Regardless of where you are, you have to go to win your game. That's the mentality, right? You have to win, go to win every single game. Whether you're going to be 3 points behind, 5 points behind, wherever it is, your first objective is to win your game. However, let's take start of the season. Man City were 5 points, wherever it's ahead of everyone, and everyone said it's Man City's season. Like, they're just going to win it at a canter, right? That was the sort of the chat in the beginning. Then all of a sudden, Man City lose a few games, and then all of a sudden, it's Man City another team they were before, and then it was Arsenal are more likely to win it, and Liverpool just, if they can do well, they can, they can hopefully challenge, and then all of a sudden now everyone's like, well, actually Liverpool can win it, and Arsenal should be like. What I'm saying is that this thing sort of change and move around basically so easily, and when it comes to like surpassing two teams, the only team I can think of who has done it is Atletico Madrid. When the season when they won it, when Alexis Sanchez still played for Barcelona and he scored at the Calderon. And I remember he scored like an amazing volley. But that was the only season I can remember where Atletico Madrid had to overcome two teams which were better than them. So it's a very improbable task to do, basically. I mean, you're talking about the stars aligning for that to happen. But it's not that it's an impossible task, basically. But I do agree.
For me, it's pretty much impossible. You're forgetting we're in City's half of the season, right? Notorious. This is City's half of the season. They don't really lose anything from now on, unless we beat them and stuff. Like I go firm. If we win the league, we need to get a result against Man City as well. Beating Liverpool, we still won't win the league if we don't get anything against Man City. We need to get something we need to win the Liverpool one and at least get a draw to Man City and hope that Liverpool and Man City can, like, for me, it's still very hard for us to win the league because you've got to remember, when we're talking like this, we're talking like we ain't going to maybe lose another game. Like, we just got to worry about Liverpool and that. Like, we can't lose points to Newcastle or the way we've been this season. We can't lose to West Ham when we play them.
You guys need to go, you're hoping that you can go on a Man City type run in the second half of the season.
We need to. That's the only way now. It's the only way.
Did it look like it today, though?
Do you know what it is? Yeah, like I'm. People say about like Arsenal having a long break and that. I personally don't think that's good for the players. Like sometimes I think we have a really good game, then we won 5-0, then we got to wait 10 days until our next game, to play. So am I going to go right off this game and say, we ain't going to win it, or we can, or we can't? I think we can. I think we need everyone to stay fit, and we need to hope that now these guys start firing up top and it starts clicking. If we carry on how we've been this season so far, leading up to like New Year, mid-January, then I don't think we'll win the league. I don't think we can win the league this season.
I also think what. Sorry, I was going to say one thing. I also think one thing that will determine if Arsenal can win the league, alongside sort of, obviously getting results. That's the most important thing. Go out there and win your games. Doesn't matter who you're playing, whether my mentality last year was, even if you had Holding in defense, go and win your game. Obviously, that never happened. But I think the one thing that Arsenal needs to also learn from last year is controlling the emotion. Because I think once we got towards the tail end of the season, I think the emotional roller coaster of this season got to us. And the reason why I say that is when we played that game against, was it Bournemouth? When Reece Nelson scored in the last minute, and everyone was talking about celebration police. I think the issue I had then was that it felt like we just spent a lot of energy so early in the season. And I think partially, maybe again, part of what we're seeing from Arteta is controlling that energy, being more, I hope that towards the end of last season, he lets the reins go and he says, right, go and attack, go and blitz teams, go and do the things that you can do, right? And go on that run, because it's not impossible for a team like Arsenal to go on a run like that, because we did it last season.
Last season, brother, we didn't have Champions League, mate. We go through against Porto and then get Real Madrid in 2 games, and then you got all these.
It's just games 2 extra. But that's just 2 extra games. That's just 2 extra games. Yeah, but you still got to play it.
It's the mental
burnout.
Load.
Yeah,
it's the travel. It's the training.
Imagine Liverpool do those games
but
as well.
You're better than us. But City are better than us.
Been doing it for the last couple of years. You're forgetting you've not had Champions League football for 8 years now. Like playing a Champions League team final at Real Madrid or against Real Madrid or one of these big teams is huge. I mean, players are going to be looking forward to that more than they're going to be looking forward to these league games. Like there's a whole mentality shift. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And Mo will tell you, City have been my picks to win the league for a very, very long time. Like since the start of the season, I've made that very, very clear. And the reason for that is if they're so close now, and they were without all of these players, Rodri missed some time. Kevin De Bruyne's basically not played at all. Haaland's not even firing yet. They missed a few defenders here and there, and they're still only within if they win their games in hand, they're 1 game in hand, they're 2 points off the top of the table. Do you know what I'm trying to say? And now Kevin De Bruyne's back, the best player in the league. You've got all of this going on. I think it's Man City's to lose, man. I don't see like it's going to take a mammoth effort from Arsenal and Liverpool to overcome this Man City team. They're just too good.
But that's the challenge.
People have accused me on this podcast of being like talking about Man City and like they're a god or something. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because I talk them up so high, but then we've seen it for so many years. We've seen them. Okay, it's February now. We're gonna win 15 games in a row, and there's nothing you can do about it. We've seen it.
But see, this is where if I'm Arteta, which obviously I'm not, I wish I was. I'd have my bank account to be a lot richer. I would take that challenge. I would say, look at the pain of last season. You almost got there. In fact, right now, at this point in the season, I am playing the Man City title sort of lift over and over, just to say this is what you missed out on last season. Because football is half of it is skill, and half of it is mentality as well, right? And the skill part, the Arsenal players are skilled enough, right, to play at least a good enough level, maybe not as good as Man City, but the mentality, the emotional part is what Man City have cultivated for years. And I think that pain of last season should be driving the team. So even if you have 2 extra games, 3 extra games, 4 extra games, do you remember last season when they showed a picture of the Man City players and they had the papers cut out and they wrote Champions League, and FA Cup, and they stuck it. And that was just a thing for them to focus on what the game was at hand. So whether they were tired, they would come into training every day, and that's what they saw. That's what the goal is. That's what Arsenal needs to do as well. They need to we need to go on that run. Whether it's hell or high five, go on that run.
I hear what you're saying, bro, but then you can use that for everyone. You could say Liverpool now, Klopp's leaving at the end of the season. This is their last. This could theoretically be one of their last good attempts to win the league, mate. Because if they say Klopp goes and all of a sudden Salah and Van Dijk go, then it's going to be even harder for a manager coming in for them. So you can use these sort of things for anyone. For me, we haven't got the players. For me, we needed to sign in January. I said the only way we compete for this league, I said it a long time ago, this season, is if we sign a striker, or at least a striker or a number 8, if not both. Yeah, in January. That was my original, what I was saying, and then we can potentially win the league. I still don't think we can win the league personally. Prove us wrong. Listen, stranger things have happened. We've watched Leicester win the bloody league. Yeah, so anything can happen, but you need Liverpool and City that have been there, done it multiple times together. We need them to now crumble, and maybe 2.
But that's why I said. That's why I used the example of Atletico Madrid winning that title over Real Madrid and Barcelona. In terms of at some point.
It's a different league.
Diego Simeone, man. You can't compare yourself to that guy, man. That guy's different.
I'll be like this.
Diego Simeone.
But we're talking about Simeone now, after the fact, right? This is hindsight. We're talking about him. When the one
Simeone always, and also when out of this world.
I remember that team was not better than Barcelona's team. Barcelona's team was way better. And
of course. And they had players above their weight. Best players in the world type thing. You know what I'm trying to say? When you got like someone like Anton Griezmann who's arguably the best player in the world.
Griezmann didn't play that. He wasn't there at that time. No, they had I think they may have had Diego Costa, but they had like the likes of Saul. They had players where they weren't fashionable. That's what I mean. That first league title they won, like they had no right to win it. They just went on a run. And they pushed Real Madrid and Barcelona, and they beat Barcelona at home in the last game of the season to win it. Because I remember I watched the game live. I remember it. So that's what I'm saying. Like it's not impossible. It's improbable, yes, but this is the challenge that's in front of Arsenal. And that's what we need to take that challenge on.
But
and this is what Arteta and the coaching team to figure out.
What you've got to look at is we've got 4 L's this season. Can you tell me who the 4 losses are against?
Newcastle, Aston Villa,
Wolves,
Newcastle, Aston Villa, West Ham and Fulham. Yeah,
exactly. So none of these are big teams. So this league,
but you dropped point against Spurs at home.
But this is what I'm trying to say. Like, we're talking like you only have to focus as an Arsenal. We only have to focus on Liverpool and Man City.
No,
but all these teams can beat us.
Of course, but who have Man City lost to this season? Arsenal. Who else? Was it Brentford? No.
But you can't compare us to Man City. This is what I'm trying to say to you. Like,
I understand, but that's
the level.
We don't have to compare it.
They didn't have De
We'd have to
Bruyne
co-
all season, bro.
We'd have to compare it, but we just have to say that
Ayo,
there's a challenge,
put it this
and
way,
anyone
Man
can
City,
lose.
you're 2 points off. Man City, you're 2 points off the top of the table, obviously, provided they win their game in hand. And they've not been without the best player in the league, arguably the best player in the world, for the entirety of the season. And that guy's just gonna get put like back into the team, and you're gonna expect it. Like, it's bro, I rate Man City too highly, man.
Furthermore, if Liverpool lose tomorrow, against Chelsea, and then we beat Liverpool and City win all their games in hand, they're first. It's not even us. So after all
Of
that,
course.
we're still not even first. They're
That's
first.
that's when you have to say you have to go to Etihad and win. That's the challenge.
Well, that's
Go and
not
do it.
happening.
I
No,
was
that's
at
the
that
challenge.
game.
I didn't say you're gonna do it.
I
That's the
respect
challenge.
Olu. Like Olu always like speaks. Like, yeah, that's the challenge. If we want to win the league, you have to do that. And you said it last year. If we have to do this, and I like what you're saying. Olu.
No, if I was talking about my team, I would be talking like Olu. By the way, I'm more of I'm more of an optimistic fan than a pessimistic fan when it comes to my team. And
I'm a very pessimistic fan.
Sorry.
I'm a very pessimistic fan.
Okay, but with me, I believe we can win everything. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like, no matter what, you feel me? No matter how bad things are, I can. But that's just me. But I've lost my chain of thought now. What was I gonna say? Oh, I was gonna say
You've been through the Arsenal PTSD, brother. You don't have that anymore.
I was at that game, Man City versus Arsenal at the Etihad, like at the end of the season, even though the league was kind of done already at that time, but Arsenal needed to win that game. And I don't think in my years of watching football, I saw a more one-sided game that was the most dominant game I've ever seen in my life. I was in complete and utter awe the entire game. I was like, wow, the level difference between these two teams is insane. So,
Yeah,
I
that's
feel
fair.
like it's going to be the same situation again at Etihad Stadium when you guys play them.
Well, the challenge again. We did, last year we lost 3-1 at home to Man City, and then this year you beat them 1-0. So it's like every year you got. My thing is, no, I don't think we're gonna beat them. I'm just saying that as an Arsenal fan, my thing is just if we've got Arteta and he's in a job, his challenge is to motivate that team and to figure out the answers. And every single time he plays Man City, I'm hoping that he's learning from his mistakes. And we shouldn't. And if his mentality is look at Man City as gods and you're never going to beat them, then you're never going to beat them.
Now, for me, he's got
to humanize them.
To beat Man City at the Etihad, I personally do believe you got to play him first half of the season, mate. I'll be honest, bro. I know that might be a mad thing, and you can think what you want and that, but right now with the manager they have and the team that they have, at the business end of the season, we play them, the end of March. That part of the season, they do not lose games at home. They just don't. And we've seen it for however many years. Even when apart from that season where they had a really off season and Liverpool won the COVID Cup, you've seen it every year.
I like the name of that cup, by the way, the COVID Cup. That needs to stick. There should always be an asterisk next to Liverpool's Premier League trophy.
Didn't Man City
that's actually wrong. Actually, Man City won the COVID league.
Yeah,
Liverpool won the league before actually COVID hit. 1920, COVID hit March 15th. Liverpool already won the league at that time.
They didn't already win the league.
I think they were like 50. They were like 15 points ahead.
Okay, cool.
We call it that because they celebrated in front of no one.
They celebrated before anyone.
No.
The majority of that league was played when fans were there.
Okay,
they had won it before.
Win a league.
I know you hate Liverpool and you have an agenda, but that's the truth.
That it's not an agenda, Mo. If you win the league and you can't go on your parade bus and parade your league, who's seen it? No one's seen the trophy.
They paraded it.
Everyone was social distancing, bro.
From that point, all right, but it will not be.
But also,
everyone was social distancing.
But
like everyone had masks. I didn't even. Who knows if Van Dijk was the one that was playing? It could have been Nesta. There was a mask. I didn't see him.
No.
It was TV there.
We don't count that trophy, man.
Wait.
Cup, man. Keep that, man.
Wait, didn't Man City win it when there were no fans in the stadium? They actually won the whole season when Man City won the year after. There were actually no fans whatsoever.
No fans because the season after, which is the Brentford game against Arsenal, when the fans first come to the stadium.
Yeah,
that was the season after. So the Man City won the league actually when nobody was allowed in the stadium.
To be fair, for Man City, they're so used to having no fans in the stadium that it just felt normal to them, basically.
Stop the cap. I actually went to their stadium. It was absolutely magnificent.
It was. You get 2 for 1 ticket. Did you get 2-for-1 ticket? Like, because they normally sell tickets in the back of like
More.
cornflakes
In-
But
boxes
to be
and
honest,
everything.
I got. It was easy to get tickets, and it was the Leicester game, though.
I'm
Exactly.
more. In this country, we have this thing called Uni Days, right? It's an app where university students get things for like half price. Like there's a discount on it, so laptops, headphones, holidays, everything.
All right.
You can, if you go on Uni Days, you download Uni Days in your university students, you can get Man City tickets on Uni Days,
Yeah, man.
and that's not a lie.
City have a football fan section where people go that don't support either team.
You can listen.
Really?
You
No,
could
they
get
don't
Man
really.
Oh wow!
You could get.
But I know so many people that don't support City or the team they're playing, and they'll go.
Yeah,
to
I mean
the
it's
games.
tourism FC for sure. Do you know the amount of people that I know that just go because you know, it's a
But do you
beautiful
know the
stadium.
reality? I actually disagree with you. Do you know who actually is a tourist FC?
Ooh.
It's Tottenham
Man City.
Hotspur Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
No
but
one's
also,
coming-
I
Okay,
went
listen,
to
I
I
live
went
in
to the Tottenham Hotspur
No one's
Stadium.
coming to Tottenham as a tourist, bro. I live in
Huh?
Tottenham. No one,
Go
I
Tottenham.
literally
Go
went to the
Tottenham.
Tottenham
Coming
Hotspur
to-
Stadium,
yeah,
bro.
I live it, bro.
went
No
to
one's coming
bro,
to North London as
Here
a
no
are
one
the-
go
tourist. bro.
Tottenham.
Here are the stadiums that I went to. I went to Goodison Park. There was no foreigners but me. They were playing against Arsenal. I was the only one there. I went to Crystal Palace in a cup game. Of course, only me to watch Crystal Palace. Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, Man City Stadium. Man City Stadium was amazing atmosphere. Tottenham Hotspur was good, but it was full of tourists. Goodison Park is dead. They were playing Arsenal. It was full. I got the last 2 tickets in the stadium. One of the season ticket holders put the ticket on sale 2 hours before the game, and I got the 2 tickets. Right?
So I don't think
By luck.
Mo knows about Broadwater Farm. That's why I think he thinks
And,
Tottenham.
and,
is
I, and I
shit.
went to I went to MK
No one's coming
Dons.
to Tottenham as a tourist, bro. I
No,
know
but
they
the
do Beyonce
stadium-
Bro,
concerts
the
and stuff there
majority
now.
of the people, I
Beyonce
was in the
FC, man.
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. A lot of people around me were tourists, and I can tell.
Yeah, but a lot of
And
foreign
I
people
can
support
tell,
Tottenham though. Like
No,
a
but
lot of
what
people.
Well, Koreans.
No,
Koreans
but
do.
what
yeah,
happens?
they
What
do.
happens is they
No,
stay
it's
in
not
London.
only
They stay in
Koreans.
London.
Because
Mm.
Tottenham
And then
Hotspur
go to Tottenham
Stadium
just
now
watch
is being
match.
advertised as a state-of-the-art stadium. A lot of people that visit London,
Yeah.
actually, it's advertised as you have to visit that great stadium. It's a very good stadium. It's a
Well, you know you
hanging
can
out
climb the
place.
stadium. Like, you know you can climb the stadium like as a
Yeah, as a tourist.
Mm.
So this
Yeah,
is
yeah,
what
you
people
can
don't
climb it.
understand. Like a lot of people in London, they were like, "Yeah, there are tickets." And also, if you're in London, the only team that you can Chelsea, it's impossible. Stamford Bridge, it's impossible to find tickets. Arsenal, it's very hard to find tickets to go to Arsenal Stadium, even when they were losing. So, which stadium would you go to in London? That's a big stadium. It's Tottenham Hotspur. I want to go. If I go and I want to see a Premier League game, which was me, I wanted to see a Premier League game.
Mm.
The only stadium that I can find tickets was Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Arsenal, I
Mo,
couldn't.
so-
Chelsea, I couldn't.
So Mo,
Otherwise,
actually,
I should have got to Q. Someone told me, yes, it's easy. Go to QPR.
Fulham as well. But also, do you know that if you want to go to Man City Stadium like for a game, all you have to do is just get a bus, and on the back of the bus ticket, you get a free pass into Man City Stadium.
Oh,
But to be honest, the
by the way,
atmosphere,
Abdi, 100%
the
correct, by the way.
atmosphere in the
Anfield
atmosphere.
have speakers. Facts. He's right.
Really?
I've been to Anfield multiple times. Yeah. You think they make all that noise? They sing you never walk alone for the first 5 minutes and that's it.
Do you want to be honest? Based on a lot of journalists, the best stadium around the world is Borussia Dortmund. And my friend went to Anfield, right? Went to Dortmund, went to the Allianz Arena, right? And went to Real Madrid and Barcelona in Spain. And he said, if you go to Dortmund, you know exactly what a terrorizing stadium is. That yellow wall is crazy. Like he says, you'll get scared.
The Greek stadiums as well are terrifying.
Yeah,
well.
apart from the
Like
Turkish and the
Olympiacos,
Greek.
yeah.
I'm talking about the big 5 leagues, though. Yeah, the Turkish. Like
Yeah.
if you go to Besiktas or you go to
I mean, you can say the same thing
Galatasaray,
about
yeah,
like
it's different.
Sparta Prague and them man there. Do you know what I'm
Yeah,
trying to say?
you
Like,
can't.
yeah,
Like
you
there's
can say
no
that about-
argument about that. You know what I mean?
Like
Also,
Legia
Celtic-
Warsaw in Poland and that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm trying to do? It's crazy.
Celtic Park as well. Celtic Park as well is meant to be pretty good atmosphere.
But I believe, and a lot of people said it, unless you go, like a lot of players in England, unless you go and play in Anfield, you haven't played against this and that and blah blah blah. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't believe that. Like, yeah, I see what they do and stuff, but I believe the yellow wall is much scarier, to be honest.
But
The
I'll say this about Anfield, though.
choreography and
I'll say this about Anfield. Anfield it's 4:30 Sunday night, floodlights. That's when it allowed it.
4:30 isn't night.
Well, okay, evening then. Jesus Christ, Mister, I have to be exactly right, right?
Is there daylight? Is there daylight in England at 4:30? Yes.
Well, it depends what time of the year.
Yeah, it depends what time of the year. To be fair, it starts at about 5 o'clock. It will be dark. About 2 weeks ago at 5 o'clock, 2-3 weeks ago.
We got people in the chat actually fighting for stadiums. You know, this stadium.
I know, right? This is brilliant. I love this. I love this.
This show has been everywhere, bro. Like this show,
it's the best. It's the best. Sometimes it's like
start with just chat, you know. Like, just, let me do a couple of these super chats for the people that send money. Martin, Martin, stop this cap. Mo, each season you should be forced to support a random team drawn out of a hat. Here's the problem: if I support a Premier League team, people won't listen to me, right? Because the next year I'll support another team and I will lose my credibility. But I said this season, I am against Manchester City because I don't want them to be dominant. And as of now, I'm supporting Liverpool because I don't believe Arsenal will win the league.
Come on, Mo, man.
I was with Arsenal and Liverpool in the beginning. You freaking lost 6 points that you didn't need to lose. You didn't need to lose these 6 points. You should have been top of the league now, going to the Liverpool game.
Yeah.
You should have been top of the league now. These 6 points might be anyway.
After we drew with Liverpool.
Okay, let's look at this. Tapilo is saying Mohali. Hi Mo. Viva South Africa, viva. Anyhow, Palmer is 4 goals away from Saka's best season goal tally and 7 assists away. You know what I'm talking about, Mo. Here come. If Cole Palmer passes Saka this year in terms of goal tallies, nobody will remember penalties, not penalties. It will remember that Cole Palmer went to a dead Chelsea team and surpassed Saka's best season. You guys know that, right? All Arsenal fans know that.
How many goals? Not just that. How many goals have Chelsea scored?
I have not that many.
And how many goals have Arsenal scored in comparison?
Quite a lot more.
So actually, you're talking about a team who's just relying on one player to get most of the goals for the team, which shares the goals around.
Actually, that's hard. Actually. You just made that.
Yeah, I know. You're right.
It's actually harder for him to score that many goals in a team that doesn't score a lot of goals than Saka contributing more to a team that is better.
My point is this. My point I'm trying to say is this: is that you're talking about a player functioning in a system that works well versus a player who's having to do a lot. Basically, I'm not taking away from him. I'm just saying that. If you're saying no, this is my point.
You just scored another own goal. It's 2-0.
Listen, my point. This is my point I'm trying to make.
2-0 Mohali. 2-0 Mohali here.
The point I'm trying to make is this: is right. The point I'm making is yes, he can score as many goals as possible, right? But if the output in the end is that basically Arsenal are playing better, I don't care individually if people think that Palmer scored 13, 15 goals. Does it mean? Yeah, but just saying he scored more goals doesn't mean he's a better player, does it?
Let's establish something. Let's establish something on this channel. I was with Hussam on his channel and here, and I said, if people ask me who to choose to play in your team at the moment, I said I'll choose Bukayo Saka. Just get it over with. I would, even with Cole Palmer's goal, I would choose Bukayo Saka to play because I believe at the moment Bukayo Saka is more beneficial to the team than Cole Palmer. I believe that. Bukayo Saka has way more experience than Cole Palmer, even though they are the same kind of close in age. I would choose Bukayo Saka to play other than Cole Palmer, in my opinion.
Yeah, let Palmer get a few more years and then do those comparisons. And if Palmer's better, he's better. But like doing it based on half a season, it's just like.
But I'm stating a fact. And I'm stating a fact, and Mo Salah can back me. Here is a neutral. Season end. And Cole Palmer has more GA than Bukayo Saka. Next year, will people remember penalties, Mo Salah, or are they only going to remember one thing?
They won't.
They remember that Cole Palmer, his first season in a dead Chelsea team, had a better season than Saka's best season. That's what I'm telling you, people. Agenda. This social media era, people will only do that.
Can I just respond to Martin really quickly? He goes, why does everyone have to get compared to Saka? 2 reasons. Number one, when you're good and when you've reached a certain level, you will get compared to. And number 2, because your fan base consistently puts Saka in these conversations where he's being compared to guys that are better than him. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like there was a point where it was Saka versus Mo Salah, Saka versus this and that. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's why people compare Saka to compare everyone to Saka. Huh?
Did everyone do that at the start?
I was going to
Sorry?
say
Everyone did
when,
start.
yeah,
I don't think
everyone
so.
did it.
What? You
I
don't know
don't-
your
I don't-
family? You don't know your family?
No,
Best
listen,
right
listen,
winger in the
listen.
league. What does
Hold
that
on,
mean?
hold on. I don't claim 12-year-olds on Twitter with an Arsenal player as
No,
their
I get that. But when
thing
you're
as an
saying
Arsenal fan.
when you're saying he's okay, if I say to you, Bukayo Saka is a top 2 right winger in the league, who is number 1 and number 2?
No, but
You say
listen,
most- yeah.
I'd say Salah, of course, number 1. But what I'm trying to say is, we're talking after we've watched Saka for however many years.
No,
The
of course,
first
of course, of
season,
course.
after, not even the first season. If we're talking like halfway through the first season of Saka, we weren't here going, "Oh, Saka!" Like we were saying, this kid looks good. Like I was personally, anyway. But these guys are talking because Chelsea have nothing else. You know, Chelsea have nothing else. I can give them that. They've got Cole Palmer, Pen Palmer. Is what it is. Show me him consistently, and then you can start doing the comparisons to players that have been doing it for 3 years in and out, country and club. Yeah, and not
also
let's be real. Let's be real. Yeah, I think when Saka come into Arsenal, we were worse. We were in a worse position than Chelsea are right now.
I agree.
Yeah,
and also let's add to this. When Saka
But
scored
then
that
when
goal
Saka
for
came into the
England,
team, Saka
wait,
was the fullback though.
left back, yeah. But when Saka scored that goal for England in the friendly or World Cup qualifier at the start of the season, do you remember when he scored like a volley and everyone was going how amazing it was? It wasn't just Arsenal fans saying that. So I hate this narrative people do where they say something and then they retract it later on that season. A lot of people, Arsenal fans, non-Arsenal fans, were saying Saka is got great potential and is a great player. And what's happened this season, he's not played that well, and they're backtracking on what things they've said. If you think he was good at the start of the season, then say it was, say that you thought he was good at the start of the season, but he's not as good right now. But I hate backtracking because I just think that it's such a disingenuous argument to make.
This
But
is
yeah,
the
let
last
Palmer.
super chat we're doing today. Saka has 23 GA in all competitions this season, and he's having a bad season according to rivals. So I agree with that. Numbers are there, by the way. Numbers
he
are
is having
there
a bad season. Though I agree, he is having a bad season to his standards. But also another thing about Cole Palmer that I just want to put in quick is people are also forgetting this is his first, but this is breakout season. People don't really know Palmer yet because trust me, when it comes to next season, yeah, and managers have watched Cole Palmer all season and they've played against him and they know what he's about. They're going to set up differently against him, the same way that teams set up differently against Saka now and stuff that they know the team. That's why I always say the second season for a player or a manager is much harder than the first season. People don't like to think that. I say the same with Ange as the Tottenham manager. Yeah, let him have this season. We got to see him next season because the second season, trust me, people would have figured him out.
Yeah.
So that's what I have to say about Palmer.
Listen, people, this has been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah,
Congratulations to Arsenal. Tomorrow I have, oh my God, this will be a lit show.
No, one more thing. Before you end it, I am bringing charges again against Footy Judge Mo for Amrabat. So yeah, last time I was on with him, I started it, but now we need to bring him to charges for essentially at the start of the season, he duped Man United fans into believing that Amrabat was the best in sliced bread. So we're bringing him more charges against. We're bringing in more charges against Footy Judge Mo. We're going to strip your license, right? You're going to be disbarred, right? We're taking away the gavel. We're taking away your wig. We're taking away your everything because basically you lied to Man United fans, you lied to the public, and you made them believe that this bus driver is a good player.
To back Mo, Man United are the Undertaker. They kill so many players.
Olu, sorry, I'm gonna have to back Mo here as well because I was one of those people. I went even further than Mo in it, and I said some outlandish stuff.
Joint charges for both of you then.
Yeah.
So next time I'm bringing more charges against Mo.
But it's crazy to me how Amrabat this week, just today. He was absolutely incredible for Morocco. He's going to play for Man United on Sunday and he's going to look terrible. There's only one, and every good player, there's so many good, and I like Man United as well. I like Man United. There's so many good players that go to Man United and all of a sudden they're just not good anymore. And Amrabat's one of those guys, and it's a shame because he's actually one of my favorite players. I like him so much. And everything that he's not doing now, we saw him do in Serie A. People think I don't get it. People think Amrabat is terrible at football. Like it's crazy to me, but he's far from it. He's far from it, and it's annoying, bro.
No, but the reason why I say this is, and again, I'm messing around with Mo. It's just something I'm
See,
doing with him. But
there's people saying
a lot-
Amrabat is terrible with or without United, bro.
So
It's so frustrating, bro.
the problem is this, right? A lot of fans who are not don't watch Serie A. Basically, based Amrabat based off that one run against Mbappe, and then the European Conference League final, and they made him out to be something that I don't think he was. But again, I don't know. I don't watch Serie A like that. I'm never going
To be fair, Mo
Serie A like
does
that.
though, don't he?
So so I just thought that the way people were hyping him, who had never watched him play, to the reality is just funny. And there's a lot of people, and again, I'm messing around with Mo. It's just my thing because so he always wants to win.
There's a lot of charges against him. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like Mo's got so many outstanding charges. You would think he was Sheikh Mansour of Man City. That's how many charges that Mo's got coming from. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh,
I'll bite the bullet for this one. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
I already did last time I did Onana, and said this one is Amrabat. So be careful,
Another
Mo.
one, bro. Onana's
I'm bringing charges.
It's Man
There's more
United.
charges. Inter Milan might
Mount.
be my next charge, but let's just hope Inter Milan continue the trajectory and win the league this season.
This
Nah,
is all
relax.
on you, Man United. This is
Relax.
all on Man United fans and Man United Football Club. The guy, Amrabat, was fantastic last season. Second highest position-based team in the league. Completed all his passes. Was better statistically and on the eye than Declan Rice for West Ham. Completed all the long passes. Dictated midfield for Fiorentina. One of the main reasons he reached a Conference League final, right? Amrabat. And Onana for Inter, one of the main reason we reached a Champions League final. And you take a player and you ruin him. This is Man United for you. Anyway, we're out of here.
And on top of that, people say, oh yeah, World Cup hype. But bro, he's one of the main reasons that Morocco got to a World Cup semi-final. He was magnificent. If you look at the midfields that he played against in those World Cups, he played against the Modric's of midfield. He played against Rodri and Busquets and Pedri. Do you know what I'm trying to say? He played against Bruno Fernandes and Bernardo Silva and Ruben Neves and Otavio. And he stood out in every single one of those games.
Doesn't matter. The charges are still being brought against both.
Exactly, because he turned out to be bad. So I have to hold the L. I literally have to hold the L here. I have to
report to the police station after this stream.
Listen, people, thank you so much for joining. Turn on the notification bell. Hit that like button before you go check it after this. And we're out of here, people.
Peace.